Hi, I'm Christopher Wong. Today I'd like to show you another scene from the romantic comedy My Mr. Wife. We're going to look at a scene that has a little bit more heartbreak to it this time, a scene where the two characters don't necessarily have their romance quite worked out yet. So, this is one of my favorite scenes from this film. If you have not seen the movie My Mr. Wife, what I should tell you about this scene is it happens close to the end of the movie. The couple in this situation has had some problems, and in the scene just before this, the woman has had a great triumph in her career, and the man has kind of helped her out behind the scenes in this success. And you think that it's maybe enough to get this relationship back on track. And it turns out that it's not quite enough to reconcile everything. So, what I'm going to do is show you the scene first with no music, and then I'll tell you what I found in the scene when I was working on it, and then I'll show it to you with music, and hopefully that will be informative to you. Let's take a look.
Anh Hùng. Sao tự nhiên anh bỏ ly mất tiêu vậy?
Bộ hồi nãy em không nghe anh vỗ tay lớn nhất phòng.
Nếu không có anh với Thí, chắc em không làm được gì hết quá à. Anh vô trong với em nha. Em muốn giới thiệu anh với mọi người.
Vô trong đó rồi anh biết nói gì giờ ta? Sếp cũ em sắp đi Tokyo rồi. Thôi em lên đi, để mọi người chờ.
Anh Hùng, bây giờ bụng anh nghĩ gì vậy?
Bụng anh giờ đói quá cũng không nghĩ được gì chứ.
Anh nhìn nó hủy cái gì?
Okay, so you can see that this scene is kind of a scene with a little bit of heartbreak. It's a very bittersweet scene because in some ways there are some things that are reconciled in this relationship, but you want them to get back together completely, and it's not quite there yet. So one of the things that you might have noticed is that the scene probably feels awkward or a little bit too long, or maybe a little bit too slow paced with no music in it. And this was actually a very intentional decision by the filmmaker. So what happened was when I got the first cut of the film, I remember studying the scene and then coming back to it. And then when I got the revised cut of the scene, the cut actually got longer, which is unusual. Usually when they revise edits, scenes get shorter. And so I remember messaging the director, Charlie Nguyen, and I said, hey, the scene got longer. That's really interesting. And he told me, yeah, I did that on purpose because I know that when you put the music in, you're going to be able to make this feel really emotional, and I want to give you more space to work. So I thought that was really cool. What you'll notice is when I put the music in, those shots that feel too long, they will not feel too long anymore. So I think the main thing is when we start the music, first of all, I found this moment when she wraps around the staircase and sees him to be a pretty natural place to start the music. And then when we get going, it's like that bittersweet feeling. You want it to feel a little bit happy, a little bit sad. It's a mix of those emotions, and that's something that I really like playing around with. So I needed to try to achieve that. And then there's a moment around here where you think that their conversation is maybe almost ending, and then she turns away and she hesitates. She has a thought and she comes back to him.
Anh Hùng.
And well, what she does is she's going to take a risk. She's going to be a little bit vulnerable and see if she can get this relationship back to where she wants it, and open up her heart a little bit. And so I found that to be a moment that was very important in the scene, and something's going to have to happen with the music there. So let's take a look at how this sounds with the music in it now.
Anh Hùng. Sao tự nhiên anh bỏ đi mất tiêu vậy?
Bộ hồi nãy em không nghe anh vỗ tay lớn nhất phòng.
Nếu không có anh với Thí, chắc em không làm được gì hết quá à. Anh vô trong với em nha. Em muốn giới thiệu anh với mọi người.
Vô trong đó rồi anh biết nói gì vậy ta? Sếp cũ em sắp đi Tokyo rồi. Thôi em lên đi, để mọi người chờ.
Anh Hùng, bây giờ bụng anh nghĩ gì vậy?
Bụng anh giờ đói quá cũng không nghĩ được gì chứ.
Cool. Really wonderful performances by these two actors. I love this scene. So, okay, so let's talk about that a bit. The piano theme that you hear during the first part of the scene is the love theme that was established earlier in this movie. And usually when this theme is playing in the earlier parts of the movie that are more funny, upbeat, this melody is usually played at a faster tempo and a little bit more lively because this is a romantic comedy. And when we get to this very kind of touching scene here where it has to have that bittersweet emotion, where it's a mixture of of different feelings. It's not happy, it's not sad, it's kind of in the middle, right? So what I did was I took that theme and played it slower. Basically, I slowed the tempo down, and sometimes that can make all the difference. Actually, is just changing the tempo of something. So that's what we did there. And then the other thing is at this moment where she hesitates, you think that the conversation's maybe over, and then something comes to mind and she wants to say something more to him. I really enjoy scoring these kinds of moments. And what I decided to do here was that the music has to kind of hit a point where it struggles to resolve, basically. Because if you listen to the music before it, it kind of cycles through the chord changes like you would expect. Let's just play the earlier music for a bit.
Sao tự nhiên anh bỏ đi mất tiêu vậy?
Bộ hồi nãy em không nghe anh vỗ tay lớn nhất phòng.
So we have that bittersweet feeling, but it's kind of predictable in terms of
Nếu không có
the
anh
music
với
goes
Thúy,
along comfortably.
chắc
It
em không
changes
làm
to
được
the
gì
next
hết rồi.
harmony when you feel like it's comfortable to do so, and it just sets that tone
Anh vô
underneath.
trong với em nha.
Now, when we get to this moment, you'll see that the music, it just kind of hovers on one or two chords for a long time, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And that's on purpose because there's actually a little bit of suspense to this moment. We don't know what's going to happen, and we have to hold the audience in that moment of we want the audience to feel like she does. Like if I say this thing to him, what's going to happen? Is he going to accept me fully again? So let's hear that. Music's just hovering.
Anh Hùng, bây
It's just
giờ
kind of staying on that one chord for a long time.
bụng anh nghĩ gì vậy?
Bụng anh giờ đói quá cũng không nghĩ được gì chứ.
And then a quick inflection to that minor chord when she hears his reaction to her, and it's not quite what she wanted to hear, and she looks sad, right?
Đói quá cũng không nghĩ được gì chứ.
So that's really the only place that the harmony changes for about 30 seconds or so in that moment. And so I think that what makes the music work effectively here is just that that change from being very steady and comfortable into this moment where it just holds and doesn't resolve for a long time because her feeling is unresolved, and we don't know how this moment is going to work out, right? Something else that I kind of like to do, this is a technical thing, is when there's a hold like that in a long space, right before the dialogue comes back in, I like to have a change in the music, and it just, not really a change, but sometimes I just start the piano right before the dialogue happens. And I don't know, that's just something I like to do, but let's see that. So we're just holding and holding right before she talks. Is that piano?
Anh Hùng,
And then the dialogue comes in. It just kind of frames it.
bây giờ bụng anh nghĩ gì vậy?
Bụng anh giờ đói quá cũng không nghĩ được gì chứ.
All right. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. And this is Christopher Wong, and I'll see you at the next video.